just so excited to interview you today. I've heard so many great things about you. So, you know what? Let me talk to my people out here. Let me tell them who I got in the house, though. So, look, y'all, it's your girl, Michelle Dukes, AKA Mimi. And guess what? I'm kicking it here with my girl, Jamie Kirk. She's a writer, an author, entrepreneur, life coach. Man, the list goes on.
You name it.
You name it, and she doing it. What's up, lady?
What's going on, Michelle? Thank you for this.
You know what?
You know I love you.
I love you as well. I love everything that you're doing. But I've been hearing a lot of people have a lot of questions about, what inspired you to write this book, and what were your thoughts when you thought of writing it?
Honestly, I think I was ready just to let it go.
Okay.
I was ready to let it go. I had been holding on to so much childhood trauma, pain. I was tired of holding on to it. Just ready to let it go.
So would you say when you wrote the book, did you feel like you released that pain that you needed to release?
Honestly, I released a lot of pain, but it also brought on other things that I had forgot about. Your mind does wonderful things when it comes to trauma. And so I didn't realize that I had a trauma block.
Okay.
And there was a lot of things that were being held back, even my greatness, because of these things. And so writing this book actually released a lot of things for me.
Okay, including the trauma block.
Yes, it is.
Okay, that's important to notate because a lot of times people do have trauma blocks. I also understand that.
Yeah.
So what would you say that you're trying to teach people when they read this book? What do you want them to learn about you or about themselves, or what was your thoughts on the message?
Not to let your past define you.
Okay.
To go towards your dreams and not let the things that you went through your childhood and those negative thoughts to hold you back.
Okay. I love that. I love it. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Yes. So how did you balance ambition and just self-care at the same time?
I do a lot of meditation.
Okay.
I do a lot of meditation, a lot of prayer, and you'll hear me listen to sermons and spiritual music all of the time. I'm always listening to frequency music. I really got into frequency music once I started learning that the subconscious is a lot of the controlling. And so the frequency taps into the subconscious. So I do a lot of meditation.
Okay. So besides meditation, what are some things that you do that may help other people? They're listening. They want to learn today. What can you offer to them?
A lot of people look at self-care as a negative thing because we don't have time.
Okay.
I would advise people something simple.
All right.
An extra body wash in the morning.
Okay.
I do self-care every day. So I have my morning body wash. I have my nighttime body wash. These are just certain things that you think, oh, we just taking an extra shower. No, take an extra 5 minutes in the shower and just let the water run on you.
Mm-hmm. Well, is there a time that you ever felt like giving up?
Whew. Yeah. Several times. I can remember when my daughter passed, I felt like giving up. Just constantly feeling like a failure. Being a single mom and just having an amazing kid and just wanting so much for him that I couldn't even afford. Seeing his ability that I couldn't even pay for him to be greater than he could. And so in those times I felt like a failure. And I think that's what kind of pushed me to be better than I could be.
Okay, I love that. So would you say, what were some extra steps you took? Because that's a very devastating thing to gone through some of the things you just mentioned. So what would you say was one of the key things? I know you speak of God, so I know God was first in all things because all things work together for those who love the Lord. And I love the Lord.
Yes.
So, but what are other things that you did or just to help your mind just go to a different space? Because sometimes we get trapped in our mind. How did you find your escape route from your mind?
I think God just had this spark that would not go out.
Okay.
And so I'm really big on affirmations. In my mirror in my home, I got stickies. And it's just reminding myself who I am.
Right.
Who I am, just not to my son, not to my family, but who I am to me, who I am to the world, and who I am to God.
Right.
Once I learned who I was to him and how special that I would, everything that I went through was for a moment.
Right.
Right. And so I realized that it didn't define me, and that I can grow, and then that I want to use all of this to help more people.
Okay, well, I love that. And I love that you're
Mm-hmm.
inspiring others, because it's not, our experiences aren't only just for us, they're for other people to learn, grow, and build. So I'm glad you are taking the opportunity to teach these things.
Well, I'll be honest, this is all God, because I don't like people.
Okay, talk about it. Talk about it.
I don't like people are wishy-washy,
Okay.
but I understand that it's trauma.
Right.
It's people, it's their way of protecting themselves and protecting their hearts or whatever they feel they need to protect. So I learned to love people, but I really don't like people.
I understand. I understand. What is a mistake that you feel like you made in your career, if any?
Trusting people.
Okay.
Trusting that people gonna help you, people that's gonna build you up. I realized that they struggled getting to where they were. Why they just gonna get me there?
Right.
And so just really trying to connect with people like, hey, I could do this, and they telling me, oh, I'm gonna help you, and just not coming through at all.
Right.
And so just really depending on people that really didn't have my best interests.
Right. But see, God will line you up with the right people that will have your best interests, that will help you grow and become the woman that you are today, and even the more.
Right. So, but the no's grew me.
Exactly.
It kind of helped me be a better me, because I was out there, I guess, in a sense, begging for help, I guess.
Right.
In a sense. But
and you know what? I feel like every experience is a new lesson. And then we know how to take the new relationships. As we moving forward, we learn how to deal with the other relationships that are coming, So I feel like even though it seems like something bad, a blessing always comes from that. From every storm, there's a rainbow.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And listen, it takes a storm for the rainbows.
Come on now. Now look, if you had a theme song, what would your theme song be? If you was walking in the room, they was playing your song. What is your song?
Did I think of it? I'm going to say, it could have been me. It should have been me. It would have been me if it wasn't for the Lord.
All right, come on now.
It could have been me. I could have been in jail. I could have been that. It could have been me if you just knew everything that I've went through in life, just trying to discover who I was.
Right.
Yeah. It's a blessing that I'm sitting here.
Well, thank God. And guess what? Your story will help someone else.
Yeah.
So I want to play a little game with you, right? And it's this or that. All right.
Okay.
All right. So the first question to you is tea or coffee?
Coffee. Mushroom coffee.
Okay. So are you a morning person or a night owl?
Morning person.
Okay. Books or movies?
Books.
Okay. Beach vacation or a mountain getaway?
Give me the beach, baby. I need some water.
All right.
Some water, some sun.
Sweet or savory?
Ooh. Can I go with both? Like, there's something about if I eat a bag of chips, I gotta have some cookies afterwards.
Right. Right. I feel you on that. Yeah. Okay, so if you were to tell the world one thing you want someone's child, their kids, they're growing up, and there's something that you want to give them a message today, what would that message be? What would you instill in that child today, that family, that person that's lost? What would you tell them?
That I think what I said to you earlier.
Okay, talk to me.
All things good and bad works for our good.
Come on now.
Works for our good. And I'll give you an example. Some years ago, I worked for Inland Regional Center.
Okay.
And the position that I had was a bachelor's position, but I wanted the master's position because it was $8 more. That's the only reason I wanted it.
Right.
And so I applied, and I've worked with Regional Center prior to working for Regional Center. And so I did early intervention. So the position that I had, I would have been great at because I already worked at it. And so the first time I applied, I didn't get it. Okay. And so it came up again. And this time my supervisor came to me and she's like, it came up again. I know the supervisor. Apply. We're going to get you in there. I didn't get it. And so first I was like, okay, wait a minute, God. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm doing this. Why can I get it? Well, 3 years later, they had a shooting in that building.
Right.
And so I don't know if you guys know that the San Bernardino terrorist attack, had I got that position, I would have been in that building.
Wow.
And so it was that moment that I realized like no's are blessings as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'll take a no.
And you know, and there's always warning before destruction.
Ooh,
Gotta give you a warning.
Yeah.
And you better pay attention.
Yeah.
Don't put it to the side. You better listen. Okay.
Yes.
I listen to his word. You know, God is
Mhm.
so good and worthy to be praised. So I'm just
Amen.
grateful to have you here today. And I just want to know, what else are you doing? People want to follow you. They want to know what you're doing. What are some things that you're doing next?
Well, I know everybody know me as a therapist. I'm branching away from that. Although I'm going to continue to do therapy, but I'm going to be actually traveling, doing more speaking and workshops. And so
Okay.
I'll be speaking at the Women's Empowerment Brunch April 13th at 7:19. As well, I'll be doing another book signing in Atlanta in April 27th.
Okay, and so tell us, what is the name of your book? And let's talk about that for a moment.
So the memoir is called The Road to Fabulous, Transforming Pain into Purpose, because that's basically what I did.
Okay.
The pain of losing my father, the pain of losing my daughter, the pain of neglect, rape, child abuse, molestation, all of that. And you wouldn't look at me and see that, but all of that is what created this person you see today. And so I couldn't just leave with that. And so when I decided to do that, I decided to make the relationship workbook, because this is actually the process that I use with my clients. And so working with my clients, we work on attachment styles. We work on your boundaries. We work on communication, emotional regulation, conflict resolution, self-care. And so I decided to put it in a book, since I can't work with everybody. Everybody can work with themselves.
Absolutely. And you know what? Everybody can't talk to people. They feel like, oh, they don't understand. But if they have something they can read, reflect, write down goals, and write down the challenges that you place in there, they can learn. So congratulations to you. I am so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So you guys make sure you subscribe. You guys go out here and get this book. Tell them where they can get the book. Did you tell them where they can get the book at?
You can actually find me on my website, www.thejamiekirk.com. You can find everything about me, where you can buy my books, where you can book speaking events, workshops. I do workshops for jobs, for companies, jobs, for parties, girls trips, wellness retreats. So stay tuned. We will be putting together our own wellness retreats. So follow us so you can stay tuned for everything we're doing. We also will be starting back. We do a monthly grief support group on Monday via Zoom, and we'll be starting that back in May.
Okay, perfect. Well, I just want to thank you for coming out today, talking to us here at Conversations with Mimi. And you know, every show is sponsored, and you know, by Duke and Dukes. It's the bourbon without the burn. It's a legacy brand, and if you don't know, it's dedicated to poppies, because poppies is popping, baby.
Yes, and if you haven't tried it, this is some smooth bourbon, baby.
That's right, the bourbon without the burn. So look, y'all, make sure you like, subscribe, tell a friend, and make sure y'all get that book, y'all. Y'all know y'all need some self-help. You know it's something going on in that brain you don't want to tell nobody about, but you can talk to you about it. You can get that book out. You can write it down. You can make it plain. And when you write it and you read it, you can make changes in your life. Don't be ashamed. Get that book today, baby. And make sure y'all get some of that Duke and Dukes. See y'all soon. Deuces.
Deuces. Hey. So I wanted to take this time to do questions and answers. If anybody had any questions or pertaining to the book.
So Jamie, I was around when you were talking about writing this book and the days you stressed over it. How long did it actually take you to sit down from cover to cover and you were satisfied with it to actually finish?
Honestly, less than 30 days. Less than 30 days. But that was my goal. I think one day I wrote 18 hours straight. Some days I actually had to stop because, like I said, this was like very difficult for me. I mean, it opened up a lot of wounds. Sometimes I couldn't write for 2 days just from crying, just from bringing up things, and then also like brought up stuff that I had forgot about, that I didn't realize had happened to me, and so. Yeah, it took a while, but I got them both done within 30 days.
So after you finished the book, completed it, you were satisfied with it, how did you recover from everything that you sustained throughout your journey of finishing the book?
Whew. I did meditation, took me a nice lavender bath with some lavender drops and stuff, and had me some coffee. I drink my mushroom coffee. But I have a routine of meditation. I listen to frequency music all the time and just have it in my background. And I encourage you guys, if you don't know what frequency music is, really look into it. 432 hertz is the best one, but play it in the background. You would notice a big difference.
Okay.
Not any other questions? No. These two, we said less than 30 days. 2 books, less than 30 days.
Wow.
Both books, less than 30 days. My goal was to have it done by January 30th. I did.
Did you share any of the things that happened to you? Did you share any of the things that had happened to you in your book with your son prior to writing it, or did you let him read it and then that's when he found out?
I told him about some things prior to it.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't want him to be shocked. Something with my son, I've always been the mom to prepare him for whatever is to come. Middle school, it's like, okay, you're in middle school. These are the things you should expect. Let me teach you about them. So it was even to the fact that, young men, we know how young men, puberty, these things come. I know that these things, we don't want it to be an embarrassing. So I'm going to teach you how to wash your own clothes, teach you how to wash your own sheets, because we know what happened. So I've always tried to prepare him for what was coming. And I don't, maybe that's the therapist in me, but I did prepare him before I wrote it.
Okay.
Any other questions? All righty. Well, I thank you guys. Mimi, thank you.
Thank you so much.